By the evening campfire, Bögnilim rummages around in his rucksack and pulls out a cheese wrapped in a cloth. He sticks a fist-sized piece on a spit and grills it on the fire.
There's nothing better than grilled cheese at the end of a long day.
The smell it gives off makes you hold your breath.
Oh, it smells like my socks after weeks of marching in my boots.
Oh, picky, are you? Hardly surprising, considering you were brought up by humans. It's ruined your taste.
Bögnilim holds the stinky cheese at the end of the stick under your nose.
Eat, and stop complaining.
You pull the warm piece of cheese from the stick. It tastes dreadful. Your fingers will smell of it for the next few days, and probably your mouth will too.
Hey, no injuries. Progress. That'll hopefully continue as we move. Yep, now he's out of injuries, just like that. So that should be everybody, right? Yep, no injuries in the parties. Those recover pretty quickly. So is Goodwater still alive? Should I revisit them to see how they're going? I really wish I could, right, I can drag to move the screen. Oh, the orcs are going down to Comstead. Where's the other ones? I don't see them from here. Did I lose track of them? You can see all these zones over here. These are all probably parts of... I don't know if you can play them in this game, but they're all probably part of the map of the world that was established by the book or something. Or maybe they become traversable once you complete this main piece of the quest. Anyway, I have a lot of supplies, and I would like to engage in these side activities. Let's see what they say when I pass through this place. Is it still a town even, or did they fall?
Once you reach the top of the hill above Goodwater, you can see what is left of the village. The sea of red-roofed tiles has given way to a forest of burnt black ruins. Shattered wooden planks and bent iron bars are all that is left of the gate.
I couldn't save them. Even the reinforced gate.
Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't seem like something I was likely to be able to solve. I would have liked to. As a more experienced player, I might have been able to come back after being the game for the first time, for example, and have a better idea of how to manage the situation. But it seemed like a pretty tough situation. I think it's the type of situation that you were meant to be unlikely to solve. What's with the question mark? Have I seen that before, or is that new? I assume that they go away when I go to them, right?
You see a light through the trees some way from the path. It inevitably brings to mind your encounter with the woodcutters. You tell the dwarves about your encounter with the woodcutters and how you ran away, as starting a fight with them wasn't part of your mission.
Then I'll make it my mission. Humans are not our enemies, Bögnilim.
You must confess that you'd have liked to have taught the woodcutters a lesson, but Bögnilim is right.
Beating up humans is not our mission.
But...
A harsh glance from you and Bögnilim silences Bögnilim. You continue on your way with a furious Bögnilim trailing behind.
Hey, bonus reputation. Do I lose some also? Nope, they're both at 20%. It's not too bad then. Oh, they've also gained 5% with each other. I'm surprised they even can gain reputation with each other, or they're already brothers. Gotta get down to these orcs.
The farmstead has been plundered, ravaged, and part set on fire. But not all of the buildings are destroyed. You call out for any survivors, but there is no answer.
Well, now I feel bad.
You split up and search for signs of life in the burned-out ruins of the farmstead. You take on the main building. You don't find anything, apart from a charred doll. And the twins have no luck either. There are no signs of life. With a heavy heart, you decide to turn around and continue on your way with the twins.
They totally let me meet all of those characters all over the map just so I could feel bad when they all start getting murdered. Let's go ahead and save, because I'm headed towards another fight.
As you near Calmstead, you see that the surrounding fields are in flames. The sound of fighting reaches your ears. You hear the screams of the villagers and the roar of the orcs.
Well, here we go again. Everyone's healthy. Everyone's got their relics. Not much to do on this screen, I don't think.
Help! Let us out!
There are still people in the houses!
Let's get them out of there, and quickly.
It's really weird how your characters can start fighting and lose health and kill things and stuff before you even get a chance to control the game, because the freaking the fight just starts while the dialogue's still happening. It's a weird quirk. So we need to free 20 villagers before 10 of them burn to death. From the fire? How do you free them? Oh. Go over there and beat down that plank. And probably that... Is that a plank? That's also a plank. Okay. I understand. Let's make it Tungdill's job, because everyone...
On my way.
Everyone else is good at fighting.
And what now?
But they can work on these guys' problems.
What is it?
Oops.
Yes?
Huh?
W. Yeah.
Yes?
And Q. There's a big old mess made out of those guys.
At once.
I want to get right up to the planks and just start hacking at them.
What is it?
Oops.
Yes?
That's a weird angle.
I didn't hit you very hard.
That's a good start. There we go. That guy's executed.
What is it?
Let's see what I can do here. Definitely go for that.
Huh?
Are you still fighting someone? Oh yeah, there he is. Just a little hard to make out in the context of that.
What bad luck for you.
Oh, friendly fire
As good
bad.
as done. Huh? Yes,
Let's maybe just head over here with the next guys.
Yes? Alright.
You're ready for this.
Yeah.
Boom.
What now?
That's the beginning of saving people, at least. How close together are these two guys? They're in friendly fire range. Let's have you jump over here. Nope, jumped past everybody.
What is it?
There we go. Here's the shockwave. That'll make a mess of things.
Yes? Understood.
So we saved 5 and 1 has burned now.
On my way.
Let's see here. Oh, one's helping me. How do I let more out? Oh, over there. Okay. I may want to do just that then. Let's see, you are going to work on this. Yeah, that'll probably help. You deal with the ongoing orc problem. That should help. You need to head over here.
At once.
I'll use my damage reduction to help out. And hopefully that'll do some damage. How's the door? Oh, the door's down. Cool.
Yes?
See, is your jump ready? Your jump is ready. Cool. Whee! Screw you. This should be next. Oh, I was hoping to execute him, but I guess he's going to run around like a lunatic because that enemy's probably in a position I can't reach. Oh, this guy's up here too.
Of course.
Okay, we'll go this way then. Hi, guys.
Yes, yes.
Don't mind me, I'm just going after this door real quick.
What is
Alright. How much danger are you in right now? Getting some attention put to us.
it? Yeah.
There we go. That's a lot of damage.
On my way.
Get over there.
Understood.
We can still get in there.
Pavrakas.
There we go. Okay, let's finish that guy off real quick, and then we'll finish off that other guy. There we go. That's a good one. He'll be fine. This guy's still fighting. That'll finish that guy off.
Yes?
Get to him in a second. Is this guy still alive?
Killed.
There we go.
Didn't hit you very hard.
Just try to take out this door as fast as we can. Well, give me one more. We'll check on these guys real quick. Still being attacked. That'll help.
Yes.
How's he? Oh, he's being attacked a lot, actually. I should probably just have him run away from the problem and move on. There we go. More villagers saved, hopefully. Only 2 have burned to death so far. Only 2 horrible burning deaths. I can't tell him to move right now. There's one to go, too.
Of course.
You go deal with that. Just ignore your other problems right now. You're just covered in too much problem right now. You know what? Get off.
As good as done.
That didn't actually really help very much.
On my way.
Okay, there's somewhere in here. Oh, there's another
Say goodbye
post.
Forever.
We'll be fine.
What bad luck for
Remind me
you.
what this one does again. 1 more extra point every press. Yeah, that'll. Let's do that. Oh, 1 more point every 5 seconds for 15 seconds, so it only gives you 3. So you spend 1 to get 2, basically.
At once.
Quickly run.
On my way.
How are you doing right now? You'll be fine. Oh, he's in rage mode, so I can't control him anyway. Just have to hope he does the right thing. You're covered in enemies. We'll figure that out in a moment.
At once. On my way.
Where's more posts? There's boards over there. Just gonna have to go for it.
Understood.
Oh, these are a lot of orcs. Oh, these are a lot of orcs. Oh, these are a lot of orcs. Alright. Yeah. That's good. How are things going over here? Oh, cool. Pretty much done. Chop, 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 chop. Chop, 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 chop. You need to help out with this other guy because he's going to be in trouble. Almost down? Good. One more quick Q strike. That's pretty much all of them saved, so now I'm going to have everyone amassed on this spot up here. Change players. There we go. It wasn't letting me change players. Tungdeal's covered in enemies right now. Good time for a cleave. Oh, it's over.
As soon as the last orc is killed, you and the twins free the remaining villagers.
It would seem the stories are true. Dwarves really are the best orc killers. We don't have much that we can offer you. Maybe we can rustle up some food.
Let's let them keep their food.
I'm sorry, but we can't accept this.
We can't let you leave empty-handed. If you won't accept anything else, then at least allow us to prepare a feast for you this evening.
Your protests fall on deaf ears. The food is simple but hearty farmer's fare. The beer strong by human standards. And there's also dancing. You only really stayed on out of politeness. But you and the twins end up emptying tankard after tankard. The next morning, you set off again in good spirits and with full stomachs.
Yay, progress. No level ups this time, but hey, we helped with the second group. And we still got provisions whether we wanted it to or not. We got more than we got from the last one, I think, but less gold. Elixir protection, take a bit less damage for a while, and herbs, non-identifiable dried herbs. Must be just sellable or something, since it doesn't say I can use it. And a bonus relationship with both characters, it appears. That's good. So now we're at 30-30. They're at 55 with each other. Cool. A few injuries, but they'll recover very quickly. Now the next question. Where's the last orc? Was one of them wiped out by the... I think I saw a vague reference that one of them might have been wiped out, but... I didn't do it, right? Or did I? Let's see, diversion to the south. Älfs ordered the 3 orcs to cause unrest. King Tilogorn of Edoslain and his cavalry have destroyed one of the orcs' hordes. If they, or you, had been quicker, they may have been able to save more humans. Steepleton was able to repel an attack. Commander asked you to wipe out the rest of the orcs. That's where we picked up with this. You're able to save a village from greenskins. Not every villager, but many of them. The survivors will think differently about dwarves from this day on. And one of the orc hordes has destroyed Goodwater. The palisades and the mercenaries could only withstand the horde for a few days. The horde of orcs that attacked Goodwater is no more. They left a trail of misery in their wake, but you have put an end to their march once and for all. I wonder, maybe I could have saved Goodwater. I don't know, it was only like my second or third fight ever, so... We've got... I already, like, just from doing that one fire scenario, I think I already have a better idea of how I was doing. By the way, that's really cool how they got all the way there and there was a big, like, crazy fire scenario. Every orc fight we've done so far has been a different scenario to fight through, which is neat. Because, like, we had the big, giant siege I first walked in on that kicked my ass, and then we went to other directions and completely different outcomes happened. I think I want to head back up north then. I think that by my estimation, there was only 3 orc groups, right? And that said all 3 of them were wiped out. The confusion was that one of them was wiped out by a different group altogether. I'm so close I could just go back to where I started. I'll have to see if I can intercept one of these, what looks like a merchant. Is that a merchant or a cavalry? Because they did mention the idea of a cavalry wandering around. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of want to intercept them, or at least visit a new town, right?
Axeldale is shrouded in an eerie silence as you approach. There's not a single fishing boat on the river, and many of the houses are now just burnt-out ruins.
The big-nosed beasts have made a grim job of it. Seems they don't like fish.
Boendal gives his brother a reproachful look. There are dead bodies everywhere, but it seems to you that there should be more of them. For a brief moment, you hope that the villagers had fled. But then you realize that the orcs were probably hungry after their victory, and your stomach turns. Boendal lays a hand on your shoulder.
Let's go. There's nothing more we can do for these people. But maybe there are others we can help.
That's depressing. That's going to be the story that keeps repeating, isn't it?
Clute Meadow is recovering from a recent battle. Green-skinned corpses are being incinerated on dozens of pyres. Some of the buildings were damaged, but repair work is already in full swing. You hear some villagers talking about the attack. It would seem that King Tilligorn's cavalry had protected the settlement and destroyed the army of orcs. But the cavalry have already returned to the capital, Talborough.
And where is that located on the map? It's not this one, right? That's just like a little... Oh. That is Talborough. I kind of want to visit. I'm on a mission and I have limited supplies. I should be making intelligent decisions. But also, I kind of just want to go wherever I feel like. I'm curious about these places I'm hearing about.
You near Talborough, the capital city of Idislane, which nestles in a valley on the edge of the Misty Vale. In the city, you hear that King Tilligorn and his cavalry have returned. You head to the parade grounds, where you see a broad-shouldered man, about 40 years old, inspecting a group of soldiers.
You are King Tilligorn, Lord of Idislane, aren't you? I have seen your portrait in books.
The tall man sounds you out, not unfriendly, but vigilant.
You are correct, my friend. This is the first time I have met an educated dwarf.
And it's the first time that I've met a king.
You reply, quick-wittedly, yet truthful. The king cannot help himself but smile.
You are clever and good with words. A sharp tongue is sometimes more valuable than a sharp axe in this world, and more dangerous.
We've fought against orcs in Axeldale and Goodwater.
Axeldale and Goodwater?
The king seems to ponder for a moment, as if he were searching for the names on an imaginary map of his kingdom. Finally, he nods.
How bad is it?
It's bad. Very bad. We found no survivors.
The king doesn't mention himself or his men, but it doesn't take a genius to realize that they have also reached their limits. The news of the loss of 2 villages in his kingdom doesn't make it any easier.
The greenskins will pay for this.
Despite the shocking news, King Tilligorn doesn't let it show in his appearance. He takes a long, deep breath.
That is indeed a regrettable loss. We rode for 4 days and 4 nights to reach Clute Meadow. I didn't want to stop, but the horses needed rest. And after the orcs attacked, we had to take the wounded back to the capital. They will pay for their actions.
You politely take your leave of the king. His determined expression makes it clear what he would do to any orc coming too close to his army. You politely take your leave of the king. He promises to take care of the dead bodies in Axeldale, and from his determined expression, it is clear what he would do to any orc that comes too close to his army.
I think that was worth the diversion. Got to meet a king. And spread some news that may have not otherwise reached him in time. Well, not in time, it's too late, but at all, potentially. Ooh, which way are you gonna go? It's a dwarf merchant. Yes!
A colourful trader's wagon drawn by 2 stocky horses is coming towards you. A small man is sitting on the box seat, and as soon as he sees you, the wagon slows down. As it draws to a stop next to you, You realise that the driver isn't human. He's a dwarf.
Greetings, my friends. All too rarely does one meet wayfaring dwarves around here. You can call me Mort.
Greetings, Mort. I am Tungdil. This is Boindil and Boendal.
You are happy to meet another dwarf, and such a friendly and eloquent one at that.
Wayfaring dwarves may not be common, but a travelling dwarf trader? Now that really is weird.
Then you see what great luck it is that we've met like this. Come, have a look at my wares. I'm sure you'll find something to make a dwarf's life a little sweeter. I'll make you a good price.
Playing this game in parallel with Tyranny, it's just so relaxing that the game talks on its own.
Mort, I hope you don't mind me asking, but which kingdom are you from?
The dwarf's clothes seem more like those of humans, and he isn't bearing any coat of arms.
My kingdom? Is that important? I'm my own kingdom. I go where I please and enjoy the fresh air and the sun on me skin.
At your side, Boindil is tensing his muscles, and you think you see from the corner of your eye his hands moving a little nearer to the handle of his axes.
Is your kingdom important?
You two must be secondlings, right? I can tell by your armour. But you...
He looks you over for a while.
You're not a secondling, are you?
As you yourself don't know for sure which kingdom you belong to, you give no answer and just shrug your shoulders. Mort throws you a knowing glance and nods slowly.
Where are you heading?
To Clintel, a small village where I can expect to do very little business. But the people there are nice and kind. I've known some of them since they were smaller than me. Isn't it astounding how much they manage to achieve in such short lives?
After glancing at Boindil's grave expression, Mort continues unfazed.
I can say in all certainty that there's not the same ambition to make a difference and change things in our halls.
That is because there is no reason to change things if you do them right first time. We dwarves think first before acting.
As it is Boindil of all people making such a claim, you're sure it must be a joke. But your friend continues to eye the trader with a serious and distrustful look.
I grew up with Magerslot Yonan in Yonandar. I would have given anything to meet someone like you.
I rarely leave this area. People know me here, so the abuse isn't too bad.
Mort shrugs his shoulders, as if it were no big deal. When he sees the concerned look on your face, he adds,
I don't blame them. It's our fault too. We turned our backs on other races. People fear what they don't know.
Well, he's a colorful character, ain't he? And he's got more supplies than we do, by a margin. And I should probably just stock up. Let's just do it. Let's grab it all. Boom! Look at our massive pile of supplies. Ooh. Second stack? Oh no, it's just red because we haven't fully gotten it in our inventory forever. Do we have limited inventory slots, or does this scroll is what I'm wondering? Also, what's up with the dried herbs? Should I sell those? Non-identifiable dried herbs. Like this thing... Oops. Yeah, these have effects. These are just question mark herbs. I'll sell them, I think. There we go. Offset it a bit. He's got some big potions to his name. I think I'll leave it at that, though.
We must press on. It was a pleasure meeting you, Mort.
Mort smiles.
The feeling is mutual, Tungdil. Vrakas be with you.
Mort spurs the horses on, and the colourful wagon jolts into motion.
You shouldn't be so trusting.
The wagon is no more than a few yards away when Boindil looks at you reproachfully.
A dwarf who lives alone among humans for years on end and disowns his kingdom? Don't you know what that means?
He's an outcast, Tungdil. His kingdom and his clan have banished him. It's a severe punishment, only dealt out for serious offences.
The twins enter into a long discussion about what crime the trader may have committed, and go on to teach you the basics of Dwarven law. As dramatic as their accounts may be, you didn't have the impression that Mort was a criminal, nor that he suffered particularly from his exile.
Huh. I'm kind of confused why they were saying, you shouldn't be so trusting. Was I trusting? I just had a conversation with him, and I had 2 armed people next to me, and he was alone and probably unarmed. It's not... talking to people isn't that trusting, is it? I just talked to him. It's not like I gave him anything. I was like, hold on to this, just in case. I guess I bought provisions from him, I guess, but it's like, is he going to specifically poison me, of all people? He didn't know we were coming. And he probably wouldn't be a very good trader if all of his provisions were bad. Now I want to meet the other merchant. Oh, it's a normal merchant. I mean, a human merchant, not a dwarven merchant. I said normal. I'm a monster.
You arrive at a small, bustling village. One thing is clearly missing from the lively scene: the sound of metal on metal from the village smithy that would normally be heard above everything else at this time of day. A dour, grim-looking man is sitting in front of the forge with his right arm in a sling. His expression brightens as he sees you, and he jumps to his feet.
Dear dwarves, could I interest you in helping me in my workshop for a day?
The man's expression is somewhere between desperation and hope. As you don't answer immediately, he continues.
You will, of course, be royally rewarded for your work. I can offer you 100 gold pieces.
What happened to your arm?
A stupid accident. A box of blanks fell down. I was trying to catch it. It will heal, fortunately, but I won't be able to wield my hammer for a while.
You must have quite a backlog of work.
You nod sympathetically. You always felt bad if you were ill or couldn't work in the forge for some reason or other.
Loads, but if what I hear about the metalworking skills of the dwarves is true, it would be easy for you to manage it in a day.
I'll help you. I worked in a forge for a while.
You modestly conceal that in this case, a while means almost a whole human lifetime. A little later, you are standing in the workshop, examining the smith's inferior tools, while he fires up the forge and prepares everything for the job, as well as he can, with just one good arm. You weren't able to persuade the twins to help you. As warriors, they'd rather go hunting, Boindil declared. But you think it's more probable that you'll find them drinking beer. But you don't care. You're excited about being able to smith again after such a long time. Hours later, you have forgotten everything around you. The heat of the forge, the sweat on your warm skin, the play of the flames. You're in your element and work as if in a trance. The smith left the workshop ages ago with a satisfied grin on his face.
Right, I'm talking to you.
You look up in surprise. Everything but the beating of the hammer had ceased to exist, and you didn't notice that someone has come in.
Can you do it?
You immediately dislike the middle-aged man. He sounds you out so doggedly with his light grey eyes that it feels as though he wants to look right through you and into your deepest thoughts. The man points to 2 horses.
Those 2, in 1 hour.
I assume he means horseshoes or something? Probably. I definitely wasn't listening at the time. I'm amused that he's just so into this that he's just completely consumed in his work. He doesn't even hear people coming. Also, really speaks to the idea that dwarves don't really change what they're doing too often and tend to just stick to one thing and are not much for ambition and stuff like that. If he spent an entire human lifetime hanging out in one building, smithing constantly and never exploring or going anywhere or having changes in his life, that's almost no humans can do that. Everyone has phase changes over those periods of time, but he just stayed in stasis basically.
These 2 need shoeing. Oh, no problem.
The man doesn't look convinced, but you get to work with confidence after examining the horses' hooves. 2 more armed men are standing next to the horses, sizing you up. You concentrate on the work. The only sound you hear is the melodic beat of the hammer against the anvil. You keep track of the armed men out of the corner of your eyes. You suspect they are mercenaries. While you're fitting the third horseshoe, another armed man enters the forge and speaks in hushed tones with the leader of the group.
He's the only one here.
The man nods in your direction, and you quickly shift your attention back to the work. You play it cool and complete the work. As the leader of the mercenaries pays you, you have the feeling that he is trying to transfix you with his eyes. The men leave the workshop without a word.
Well, that's not a good sign. So they're sizing up the blacksmith shop to rob it, which could especially be bad if we leave and then the other guy comes back later and gets robbed. And not only is he on his own, but he also has an injured arm and probably isn't a fighter the way that our protagonist has become over time.
So, you're mercenaries, I take it?
You're only trying to engage in conversation, but the man looks at you incredulously, as if he didn't expect dwarves to be able to talk.
Something like that.
Got lots of work? Oh, do you know anything about the armies of orcs from the south?
We can't complain.
The man's tone makes it clear that the conversation has ended here. You carry out the work in silence. As the leader of the mercenaries pays you, you have the feeling that he is trying to transfix you with his eyes. The men leave the workshop without a word.
Oh, weird. The dialogue looped on itself and he said the same thing again.